you from experience as the chief of quartzite, when they wanted to do that, I had no problem cooperating, but they wanted us to go through this weeks-long class. Well, it's hard to get our people, I'm explaining to you what previously happened. I'm not against it. I'm in support of it if it's something that's a Reader's Digest version. We don't need to know every single little thing to just operate it like you said. So yeah, I have no objection to participating, but please don't try to put us through a 10-week program, because I can't send all 30 of my deputies to a 10-week program because it takes away from their primary duties. That's all I'm asking. I have no problem participating. I know, but I'm just explaining to you what previously happened. I have no problem participating. If an invite is sent, I don't know, one of us will be there. I'm sorry?
We can talk.
Because realistically, what that should fall under is our search and rescue program. Well, for search and rescue, yes.
And this question is more directed, well, it's not really. How would you improve the treatment of citizens to ensure that they are treated with dignity?
Well, having deputies understand, or personnel at the Sheriff's Department understand what they're legally obligated to do. The Constitution says that the government can't do certain things. So making sure that things that should have been taught in the academy or things that should have been taught in training, to make sure that those things are, they know and live by that. The other one is to make sure by our example that we're doing those things, and to make sure that we are having our deputies properly trained and properly monitored to make sure that they're not doing that kind of stuff that makes us look bad. You know, one of the things I hate is when somebody comes up to me and said, Deputy so-and-so did this. It killed me as a supervisor. I hated it. So, you know, we have to monitor that, and if we have to take action against somebody for violating somebody's constitutional rights or being rude or whatever it is, then we're going to take care of that. But I think the first thing we do is make them understand the importance of it, make them own it, own that mission, take ownership of it, and make sure that they follow that every single day on every single call, on every single citizen's contact. I am a big believer in body cams. And I think anybody that doesn't like to be recorded on a body cam if they're a cop has a problem. So I love body cams. They should be on. We have policies for that already. So anybody that says, oh, you know, I don't like when you record me, or I shouldn't have been recorded, or whatever, that goes against what my philosophy is. Body cams are awesome, and they just help us.
Excuse me, I wrote the question, you only read half the question? I asked the question on behalf of him of how he would treat people if he was elected sheriff, not in the way he treated a person, myself, when he was a deputy. That was the question.
I apologize. I thought I summarized that.
No, ma'am. I asked it, well, how he would treat a citizen with dignity, like he wants to treat the other deputies with dignity. How would he be as a sheriff? Because he didn't act like that as a deputy.
It's just not the forum for that. Did you file a complaint?
Yes, I have.
And what happened to it?
Same thing as the rest of you that were there.
Okay.
The new regime doesn't treat people like that.
Okay. I can't speak to that.
Am I allowed to answer this question?
Sure, you can have a
Okay.
rebuttal, absolutely.
One of the biggest things, well, what the opponent said is that sounds like accountability, holding people accountable for their actions, which I've been saying since I got here. But first and foremost, I tell my deputies, you treat people like you want to be treated. You treat them like your mom, your sister, your brother, your dad. We're all human beings, so we should treat each other fairly and equitably. When I became the sheriff, we had deputies that were just treating people like crap. Pardon my French, but they were. They weren't respectful. They weren't treating people like they're talking to another citizen. They talked down to them, and they had an arrogance about them. That was one of the biggest complaints. So within months of me becoming sheriff, citizens would start saying, you know what, we've had a good experience with your deputies. They actually engage us, they actually talk to us, they treat us like we're human beings, they talk to us like somebody else on the street. They don't talk down to us, and they don't look down on their nose at us. I've implemented 3 body-worn camera systems at the 3 agencies I've worked at. The current system that we have now is the best system that they have at the Sheriff's Department, because the previous system would override and copy over the previous videos because it was a very poor system that they had. I bought the Axon system, where there's things put in place where that cannot copy over the video footage that you had. Because we had deputies that were intentionally leaving their body camera footage and not implementing what the case was or anything like that. Why? Because they wanted the file to be deleted. Again, lack of accountability. I keep harping on that, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Do you have any rebuttal? I think Sheriff Ponce, you're next. Would you support bringing the Veterans Court back?
Definitely, I think it's a benefit. I don't think we pay enough attention to our veterans and their needs and some of the issues that our veterans face, and we just kind of shove them through the legal system and have them fend for themselves. We have a huge problem with with veterans being homeless and having mental health issues that's not being looked at, and our VA isn't helping. We need to start somewhere. I'm a veteran, proud of my service. My grandfather was in World War II, my uncles were in Vietnam, and my 2 uncles were in Desert Storm. I also served in Desert Storm and Somalia. I love the military. I'd have stayed for 20 years if the person I was with at the time would have supported it. She was not supportive of the military. Did my 5 years active duty, 3 years reserves. So I did all my 8 years and came home to continue serving my country in just a different capacity. So Veterans Court is essential, and we need to bring it back, and hopefully the county attorneys and the courts will support that.
I agree. That's pretty simple. You nailed it.
Okay, and this is a question for you specifically, but you'll be able to answer as well. Did you gather applications for BOUS residences to begin a volunteer posse? And the BOUS community say you never finished that process, and is any of that true?
We had an issue when he started that with the COVID stuff. That got in the way of a lot of things. We couldn't hold meetings. The tribes were going to be very involved in that. A lot of tribal members were interested in, or members of the prior posse. So we were trying to put all that together, but unfortunately COVID got in the way of that. So, you know, it was what it was. We couldn't put things together. We couldn't have meetings like we wanted to. So it kind of got put on the back burner, and then, you know, other stuff happened. So we couldn't follow through with that. It was always my intent to follow through with that, and now that we had gotten out of COVID, that's, as the search and rescue coordinator, that's what I was going with it. We were starting to put that back together.
Do you have any?
So I actually have been working with Carrie Ann for a couple of years trying to get a volunteer program established. My lieutenant is working on that as well. We are gathering names and trying to get things going, but we want to get a class established to be able to get everybody trained together so there's cohesiveness, and we're working together as a team and not piecemeal it one by one. If we can start it together as a group, then I think we're going to have more longevity and continued momentum.
And I guess you're next. What are you doing with juveniles who commit crimes?
Well, the problem with juvenile crime is that we have no say over juvenile crime. Unless they commit a crime such as murder, they all have to go through juvenile probation. So if you recall, several years ago, we had a problem over here at our school where they vandalized and destroyed much of the school, causing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage, that we couldn't arrest those kids. They had to get put through the juvenile probation system. And there was some fees and things that were attached to require repayment, but there was very limited legal action taken against those kids. I think that we've gotten so far away in society from any kind of disciplinary action of children. That's why we're in society, unfortunately, right now. So I think that those things need to be tightened up, but we need the citizens' help to push those issues. I understand that we don't want to always discipline our kids to the toughest extent, but we got to assess the situations and we got to start being more critical, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That's my opinion.
The juvenile system does have faults, no doubt about it. It's the system we have, and I think the sheriff can have a voice in saying, hey, you know what, maybe we should fix this. And look for legislation, look for sponsors, and again, citizens speaking out and saying, you know what, we want to change this, we need to change this, this is not working. So the juvenile system that we have is the system we have, but that doesn't mean we can't work towards repairing that or changing it. So as an advocate, that's where I would be.
And to add on that, is there anything in place to hold the parents of those children accountable?
Again, we go back to there's very limited situations. You've seen in some states where parents are now being charged with things like murder when their child committed murder. And I applaud those states for doing so. And some people might not like that, but that's the truth. We need to start holding other people accountable. Right now in our state, with the way things are with our laws, I don't see that even happening in our state, unfortunately. But I think that we as the people need to continue to speak our voice to our elected officials at every level, because those are, especially the ones at the state level, creating the laws. The laws are supposed to be created to protect us. Well, I've seen it myself as the sheriff, where laws are being pushed through and we had no idea what was going on. And do you think we got a seat at the table? We're the ones having to enforce them. So the sheriffs as a whole, the Arizona Sheriff's Association, there's 13 of us that are active. We push back, and we've been pushing back. We are very united in what we do, and our voice is now being heard, where we're creating legislation to occur in the right direction, and we're getting a seat at the table now. It wasn't happening before. We just had this meeting up there in Flagstaff this week, and that was part of the discussion, that we are more united than we've ever been because of all of us together are so involved in wanting to see the change and affect change. Sheriffs are very powerful individuals. So now these people are listening to us at the state when we go speak, because we're showing up with our cowboy hats all together, dressed in our uniforms, and some of those legislators don't want to see us. Matter of fact, some of these local politicians get phone calls because I'm up there in Phoenix. Why is the sheriff up in Phoenix causing a ruckus? Why is that little guy causing a ruckus? That's what they say. And then I'm getting a phone call from certain individuals, I'm not going to name them, but upset because I'm creating problems up there. Well, you think it's a problem. For me, it's not a problem, because guess what? The people of LaPaz County, their voice is being heard now. It wasn't being heard before because we had sheriffs. We had sheriffs that were stuck in a silo of LaPaz County. Yes, I'm the elected sheriff of LaPaz County, but I'm only one of 15 sheriffs in the state, but 13 of us are united for the same cause, moving forward. And I'm going to continue to fight as your sheriff and do those things that we've been doing, and you're seeing money come back here that was never coming back here anymore. Why? Because I'm opening my big mouth. Let's be frank, that's what's happening. I'm not going to keep quiet. I'm not going to be muzzled by anybody. I'm elected to take care of you guys, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight every day, tooth and nail, whether it's here on this home front or over there at the state capitol, to argue for funding, equipment, all those things that we need for our deputies to be able to serve you, the citizens of LaPaz County.
The sheriff's position is an advocacy position, especially at the state level. So yeah, I would continue that and be as vocal as I ever have been.
Okay. And another question for you, Ponce. In your opinion, what is one concern or exposure risk for the citizens of the county? And what top 3 action plans do you envision to correct this concern for the citizens?
Well, we know that the border is an issue, and we're only less than 100 miles from the border. So at any moment, we are under siege. Let's be realistic, okay? We don't know when it's coming, where it's coming from. Weapons going back and forth across the border, drugs coming back and forth across the border, and who knows what terrorist is coming across this border. I've continued as a sheriff. You've seen legislation, you've seen letters pushed on our behalf about shutting that border down, because I'm all about it. And I'll continue to fight as your sheriff to do so. So that's first and foremost. Second is getting more deputies out here to be able to provide the services to you guys. It's a joke to have one deputy per district, not only for the deputy, but for you guys, because these guys are running back and forth over 100 miles from call to call to call. That's not beneficial for them. It's not beneficial for you, because it's taking an hour sometimes to get to your house, and you have an emergent situation that needs immediate response, and we're not able to provide that. And I'm embarrassed as a sheriff in that aspect. Thirdly is providing them all the resources that they need, that they're continue to be lacking, and I bring it up over and over again. Those are the top 3 things that I see as an issue and need to continue to be addressed. And our county leaders are not opening their eyes or their ears even. They're doing this whole, monkeys closing their ears and their eyes. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. If we don't look at the sheriff, then it doesn't exist. That's the feeling I get sometimes.
It's been interesting going to the candidate meet and greets and listening to the county people talk about stuff. And funding is a big deal. And I agree with the sheriff that funding is a huge problem in the county. We don't have enough money to do the things we want to do. So we have to prioritize. There is a huge problem with response times. There always has been. I sort of have a plan for that. We only have 3 districts. I'm going to propose to have 4 districts, make them smaller, get rid of a rover deputy that we had that doesn't really seem to do very much, and get 4 deputies and a sergeant minimum on each shift. That's going to improve the response times a little bit, but it's a big county. And we don't have the funding to put 6 or 7 deputies in it, so we probably never will. But we can use our funds to try to pinpoint where we can make small improvements to at least address it a little bit. So that's number 1 for me. Number 2 is the problem at the border does spill over up here. I'm sure it does. And we need to be prepared or address that with whatever programs like Stone Garden, et cetera, provides us with. So that's a big thing. I think we have not seen the problems from the border come up here like we will. If it continues the way it's going, we are going to see more and more of that stuff come up further north from the border. And I forgot what my 3rd one was. I just had a brain fade. I had it all prepared. Yeah, that's it. 2's good enough for me.
You looked like you had a rebuttal? No?
We do not have rovers right now, and I've been talking about 4 districts since I took office. I've asked the board, please give me the deputies to cover 4 districts. We can't do it. So that's nothing new. That's been talked about for years. So under my administration, it's going to happen because I'm going to tell you what, the board continues, again, I keep saying it, they try to act like that there's no money. I had my budget cut 2 different occasions for over $500,000 because we needed to help the county get out of the deficit, but then I see other departments getting staffing. And Ana Camacho can attest to that because she's felt the same pressure and same issues. It's not just me saying it. I'm not just telling you some story that I want you to believe. I'm telling you facts. When I talk, it's about facts. Not propaganda, not rumors, not because somebody told me this or I heard this from somebody. It's factual. The county needs to start opening their coffers and fund public safety like it should be, not talk about it. I've heard people say, I heard county leadership say, I back the blue, but I back them from way back there. That's not backing the blue, I'm sorry. Public safety is for you guys. You guys are the public, and we are obligated to provide you with those services. So it's time to start assessing how we're really doing business and what we're putting our money into.
Do you have a rebuttal?
No.
All right, so last question, and you can have 5 minutes or if you need more. Why do you feel that you would make a better sheriff than Sheriff Ponce?
As I say over and over and over again, there is a problem with how people are treated in LaPaz County Sheriff. And this isn't rumor or innuendo. I've seen it my own self. I have names, dates, and places of people who have seen it. Sheriff Ponce demonstrated it for us in the Baus meet and greet. That's not the way you treat people. You don't intimidate, you don't bully, you don't threaten. Those are the kinds of things that are definitely happen in the Sheriff's Department because there are people whose names we know. It's not like, oh, I heard this from somebody else. These people are holding their hands up and going, bullshit. So this is not, we're not making this up. This is happening. So that is what I'm going to change, and that's what makes me the better candidate, is that's going to go away. And if you make that go away, then you get improvements automatically from people. There's people that have to work and people that want to work, right? The people that have to work may not want to work. The people that want to work may not have to work. But if you can meld those, they have to work and they want to work, or they really want to work, that's how you improve a department. That's how people step up and do the mission. I talked about the mission. If you make the mission clear and people want to do that because they like the department, they like how they're being treated, then the mission gets done. They bend over backwards to get the mission done. If you treat them like crap, not so much. So that is what I'm going to address, and that's what makes me the better candidate to take the Sheriff's Department to a better place. Employee experience is ace number one for getting stuff done at the Sheriff's Department, any company. That's how you get stuff done. And so that's my goal, is to make sure we improve that and get it done.
Sheriff Ponce?
Over a decade of command level experience, proven leadership provides proven results. I've proven that I can make results happen. Can you tell me why I've stolen in your community, here, Quartzsite community, why I've stolen so many staff members from here, and we pay less money than Quartzsite does? Tell me why. If they're willing to come work for me for less money, because I'm a good leader. Maybe I didn't fall into the good old boy system and the little clique that was there got to get whatever they wanted and continue getting whatever they wanted. I stopped that and hold people accountable, and we're gonna make things fair across the board. If you earn something, then you're gonna get training. If you work at this, then you're gonna get this. It's not a give situation, it's a give and take. We have an obligation to the citizens of who we served, and I've had to change that mentality. I keep saying that. The mentality was an I, me mentality. That's not okay, because it's not about us. It's not. We're about service. Dedication to service. I keep saying that because I mean it. I put it on the cars for a reason. I wanted these guys to see it every day, visualize it, and live it. I've been in service since I was 18 years old to my nation. Now on a lower level, but I've been in service. And I expect the same thing from my deputies. I have high standards for my deputies, I do. And I'll continue to do that. I have no qualms about being who I am or leading the way I lead, because we're progressive, we're moving forward. The organization has better leaders, better personnel. We are 90% fully staffed. There's no crisis that's being said that there's, oh, everybody left. Well, yeah, everybody that left, we fill those positions with higher qualified personnel. If you didn't want to change and you didn't want to move forward, then I'm sorry, but we're not going to stay in 1983, and we're not going to play the good old boy system. Never liked it, never was a part of it. I'm a product of not being the good old boy system. I've clawed my way to the top, but every organization I've led, I've left it in a better place. Where they're at today may not be where I left them. That's not my fault, it's because I'm not there anymore. This organization is going to continue to move forward and lead by example and be the best agency in the county that it should be. We're the largest agency, so we should be the best agency. People have taken notice. You see it. Interact with my deputies. They're far better than they were before I became sheriff. It was an I mentality. We're going to give you everything and get to do whatever you want. And again, pack of feral dogs running through the county. Lawsuits were rampant. Lack of supervision, rampant. Not anymore. You want proven leadership, you want proven results, then I'm your guy. If you want commitment 100%, I'm your guy. Born and raised here, 5 generations, LaPaz County. Love this place. Didn't stay here because I didn't want to be here and I didn't want to do something. I came back to my home because I wanted to serve the people that bred me. I'm committed to this place. And is there days when I want to pull my hair out because I'm going crazy because of what's going on at work and I'm frustrated because I can't make change fast enough? Yes, but it's going to happen. My staff will tell you, I'm committed. I push harder for them because they've gotten raises under this administration that they weren't getting. They've gotten equipment they weren't getting. We're moving forward. We've gotten grants to upgrade our dispatch center that weren't, because nobody was doing the initiative to get them done. Things were just being let go. Well, it exists and we're just going to live and collect our paycheck and go home. That's not me. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. My poor children suffer because I'm a workaholic. I'm committed to this place 100%. I told Lisa today, I didn't want to be here that long because I want to spend time with my daughter because I've been gone all week. But I'm here because I needed you guys to hear what I have to say and how important this place is to me. Now I'll go try to make it up to her later and hope that she understands, you know, because the 22-year-old that's in college, I didn't spend the time with her because why? Because I was committed to this job. I had dinner with her this week because she's up in college in Flagstaff because I'm trying to spend a little time with her. Because my kids are important to me too, as important as this place. But there's got to be balance. I got to have some time to my family. I got to get this place fixed, and we're not where I want to be, by no means. I dug out of a hole, but I can see the light now. We're getting there. If you don't vote me, then you're going to go backwards because this is a product of the previous administration. Okay? I'm progression. I'm moving forward. And everybody on the bus, they're ready to go. And they are with me. They want to serve you the same way I do because they know what my expectation is, and they're happy to serve. They're dedicated. They're about you guys. They really are. So you can say whatever you want about the couple that left. Well, sorry. Bye. We're not going to look back. We're looking forward. And we're here to serve you guys to the best of our abilities.
Again, I thank you both for coming. I thank everyone for helping that to remain very civil. And if you'll join us next week, we're going to have a debate between the 3 county supervisors for our district. And we're also going to have a debate between the 3 District 30 Senate race ladies. So thank you all. There's plenty of snacks back there if you're starving. Date and time next Friday night, 6 p.m. Right here. Yeah. Thank you all.
I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress. Hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye love, goodbye. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye from romance, that might have been. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. Hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress. Hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye my love, goodbye. I'm through with romance, I'm through with love. I'm through with counting the stars above. And there's a reason that I'm so free. My loving baby is through with me. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. Hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress. Hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye my love, goodbye.